Brandy here, back in the kitchen doing a new canning project. And tonight's, well, it's tonight now, whenever you see it. I'm working off out of the Ball Blue book. This was I believe this is the 2020 version. This is the one they were selling this year in Walmart. Turn that off. I harvested my tomatillos, and I had enough to make a batch of tomatillo salsa. This can be found on page 37 in the Ball Blue book, the current edition. It says that it will yield 3 pint size jars of tomatillo salsa. I'm not going to touch them because they're hot. I'm using half pints because that's what I had, and I'd rather have smaller batches so it'll go a little bit further. I liked this recipe because you didn't have to have like 9 to 11 pounds of tomatillos. Some of the recipes I saw, you had to have a large portion. I only had 3 tomatillo plants, and I had about 2 pounds that were ready to pick and harvest. I still have some out there, so I may get to do another batch depending on if we get an early frost or something, because I'm not sure. I think they still have a good little ways to go. So what this recipe calls for is 5½ cups of chopped tomatillos, 1 cup of chopped green peppers. I used jalapeno, and I also used it's actually a red Marconi pepper, but I picked it green so that I would have enough because I didn't have enough jalapenos. I had a couple hot peppers I cut up. They were kind of more trouble than they were worth, so I kind of just stuck with the jalapenos. I did take the seeds out for the most part, but if a few got in there, I wasn't terribly worried. 1 cup of chopped onion, 4 cloves of garlic minced. I think I added a few extra cloves of garlic. I like garlic. 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flake, 1/2 cup of vinegar. Make sure it's 5% acidity. I used white vinegar, and 1/4 cup of lime juice. And so you wash everything really well, you chop it up, and then you cook it on the stove. You bring it to a boil, and you let it cook down for about 10 minutes. This will break it down, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. I've already done that, so I'm fixing to jar it up. And this one needs, I think it's 1/2 inch of headspace. Yes. So this one you're going to ladle it in, and you're going to leave 1/2 inch of headspace. That is if you have one of these, that's the second stair step. You debubble. Take the vinegar around the rim to get anything off, and put your lid, bands, and then you're going to process this one for 15 minutes. This is a water bath canner one. To be really honest, if I get 6 half pints, I'm leaning towards only canning 5 and keeping 1 that I can put in the refrigerator and we can eat this week. So we can see if there's a difference between putting it in the refrigerator and eating it fresh versus canning it and putting it on the shelf. I don't know. I've read a couple different people who say they love tomatillos fresh, but they don't like them canned. And some people actually will supplement green tomatoes for tomatillos. They say they like the firmness of them. So I don't know. And I've never done it before. As you can see, I've got my water bath canner heating up, and I'm not gonna lie, we've all tasted it. It smells amazing. And this is what it looks like. So it doesn't have a ton, it's gonna be a thick salsa. So I don't know if I'll get what it claims it makes. We will see. But I followed the measurements, and so here goes. Timer just dinged, and that means my processing time is over. I've turned off my stove, and I'm just going to kind of because this lid I just kind of sit on top because this is my pressure canner, but you can use it for small half pints and pints as a water bath canner. So that's what I do, because why not? It's just one less pan to have. If I'm going to do something in a quart size, I'm going to pressure can it because it's faster typically when you pressure can. These are water baths, so I just went ahead and went with it. Let me show. Oh, I did keep one out. This one's going to go in the refrigerator. I can touch it now, but it's still too warm. I don't want to put it in the refrigerator. I'll let it sit out overnight and put it in the morning, and we will eat this with some dinners we have this week that this will complement very nicely. But let's see what one of these looks like coming up out of the canner. Can you see that? Let's see if I can bring it close, sorry. I think it's pretty. So I'm very excited about this. So what do you do, like if you like tomatillo sauce, but maybe you didn't grow any in your garden? First of all, I want to say, I've seen so many people say they gave up trying to grow them, how difficult they are. I don't know if it's because I live in the South. I've never attempted to grow them before this year, and I grew them from seed myself, and they've done fantastic. So I'm excited. I think, you know, depending on our weather, I think I may end up being able to get maybe another, whoop, there goes a ping, another batch. But to be very honest, if we like this as much as I think we're going to with some of our meals this week, I may be headed to the farmer's market so I can buy a larger quantity of tomatillos and probably some hot peppers. I have some peppers producing, but this was not a bumper crop this year for me for peppers. So I had enough for this. I did actually play around with the peppers so that I had enough for this. But I knew it was fine if this turned out a little more mild because I did that. But honestly, it had a nice little heat to it. So really excited about that. I think it must be raining. I can hear it. So anyway, I hope you found value in this. I hope that this might encourage you to try canning. Water bath canning is always a great one to start with. This one really was not a hard one to pull off and put together. The spices were pretty minimal. And I guess the biggest thing was you needed that lime juice and instead of a lemon juice. And I think that's going to add a really nice flavor. So anyway, I just want to say thank you for checking out the channel. If you found some value in this, we would love it if you would give us a like on our video or share our video, and certainly we'd love if you subscribe to the channel, because we have other videos like this and we'll have more to come, especially as more harvest comes in. Bing! I love to hear that sound. As more harvest comes in. Matter of fact, I have a big order coming, I think, yes, tomorrow from Azure. So I'm going to have a big blackberry jam making coming up. We didn't get blackberries, and where I normally would have gotten blackberries, they had heavy pest pressure, so they didn't have any for the public. So I have some coming from Azure, so I can replenish our blackberry jam, because we love blackberry jam, and I do a low sugar version. So that should be coming up in the near future, as well as our first fruits of our muscadine jams. Hopefully you'll see that before you'll see this one. So anyway, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.